Wow, check these pictures out. An impressive look at a 10-car train derail in Lorain County. This is near Middle Ridge and Route 58 in the Amherst area. We're still trying to find out how this happened and if anyone was hurt. We're digging on the details, and when we get them, we'll pass them along to you.
Hello everybody, Untouchable here. And as the reporter stated, this is a 10-car pileup that happened on December 1st, 2020 near Amherst, Ohio. In my video, Trackside number 4 on the Chicago line, I explained a little bit. Now I'm going to go into full detail. So join me, get comfortable, and I'm going to tell you the details of a story not so old. Anyway, this train was heading from the state of New York to Elkhart, Indiana on the Chicago line, which is a very busy triple-track main line for the most part. Now, in this particular case, it was December 1st of 2020. A heavy snowfall dumping 14 inches of snow in Lorain County and Amherst, Ohio, was going on during the night into the afternoon when the derailment occurred. The train, making steady speed, which was this train in case in particular, or railroad, was Norfolk Southern. The Norfolk Southern train, making good time, was crossing a switch plate when it derailed. Now, the details of this derailment aren't known yet, but we do know, we can officially say that nobody was hurt and that 10 cars did come off the tracks. Now, in the history of the Chicago line, not many accidents have occurred in this part of the line. But if we go back 100 years ago, well over 100 years, about 105, something more similar, but yet more deadly happened. On a very cold March day, 1916, about 3:15 in the morning, just about a mile from where this wreck occurred. The New York Central system at the time was operating 2 sections of a train. They had left Chicago in the afternoon of the day before and were making good time to reach their destination in Cleveland in the early morning hours. I can't remember exactly what day it is, but the train was in 2 sections. The first section, the train number 86 was the name of the train. The first section of the 86 had come to a faulty signal, showing yellow instead of green. So the engineer stopped the train, and got out and went to the signal box, which wasn't far down, maybe 700 feet down the track. The signalman told him, and later recounted, that there was faulty signal work, and that he would get on it immediately, but the train could proceed with caution, just in case there was an open switch or something further down the line. So the engineer, as he was going back down to his train, he actually got into the cab and everything, and he started moving again. Well, the second section, which was following about 9 minutes apart, maybe, because back then, when trains traveled, if there was a large train carrying passengers and it was overcrowded, they would get a second train, and then they would load that up too, and it would follow behind, not too far a distance. And yeah, you can imagine what kind of a nightmare that was if it's not coordinated. Anyway, not even mere seconds of starting the train up, the second part of the section of the 86 train came flying and hit the back of the first section of the 86 train. The engine of the second section hit the last car of the train, went through 3 of the cars, which were all 3 of them were wooden coaches. It went through a dining car, a day lounge car, and a regular lounge car before stopping. The second section of the train, along with the first section, cars were telescoped, bodies were thrown everywhere, and some train cars were thrown onto the westbound tracks. Now, what you have to understand, even back then, that was a very busy main line section. So, there wasn't just those trains, there was also trains coming on the other side. And on the westbound tracks coming, just leaving Cleveland, about maybe 2 hours ago? No, probably an hour ago at the most. A crack train, which is called the crack passenger train, as they're called back then, of the 20th Century Limited, the world-famous 20th Century Limited, was steaming along at 65 miles an hour. It hit the debris that were strewn along the other tracks, and it derailed also. Thankfully, because of the steel coaches, that train, there were no injuries. But I believe in the two sections, there was about 20-some people dead, about 50 injured, give or take. And this is what put Amherst, Ohio on the map. This wreck was heard by everybody. As soon as possible, the mayor of Amherst was told immediately what happened, and he went to the town hall, the city hall, which is still there today. And if we go back, me and my brother, I will take a video of that city hall. Anyway, so the mayor instinctively went up into the tower of the town hall and started ringing the bell to get the townspeople's attention. And boy, did they come. As soon as the wreck happened, dozens of townsfolk came to help. Policemen from Elyria came, policemen from Lorain came. Dozens of hospitals brought their ambulances and started treating the wounded on site. And actually, people lit bonfires next to the track for light because they couldn't. Like I said, it was a very foggy day or a very foggy morning, and it was still dark out when it happened. This was 3 o'clock in the morning, so it's almost pitch black outside. But anyway, once everybody got there, they started offloading the dead and getting the wounded out of there, and they started taking them to Elyria Memorial, which is still there today. They would have taken them to Lorain, but Elyria had better equipment to handle this sort of accident, and Amherst Hospital was not completed yet. It was started to be built in 1915, but it was not completed until 1917, so unfortunately they couldn't use it. And the gracious people of Amherst actually opened their doors to most of the survivors and gave them blankets, everything, and food. Excuse me. Now, 5 of the victims were never identified, and next time I do go back with my brother again, I will go up to the cemetery, and there's 5, well, actually, there's 4 unmarked graves for the remains, and then there's one gentleman that was identified afterwards, and I'll get a video of that for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and stop talking. I have some historic pictures I'm going to show you guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this. Cue the music.